94.1 WHRP, Gurley, Huntsville, Decatur, a Cumulus media station.
I said, Tony, yeah! Tony, in the morning.
Tony in the morning. It's local and it's here. Tony in the Morning Show. Tony Terrell, your best girlfriend. Thank you for starting your day with us.
Tony in the morning.
Tony in the morning. 94.1 WHRP.
Tony in the morning at DJ Primetime 256. Tuesday, here we are.
Yes, and one couple is on their way to a couples therapy session.
Right.
And now she's in jail.
What?
I'm just, yeah.
They were on their way to a couple's...
On their way to couples therapy.
Okay.
And one person ends up in jail.
Oh, man.
Notice I said she ended up in jail.
Well, she's not the only one. Actress Sky Jackson was arrested, and she was in jail. But was she charged?
Touche. And the one thing that you don't want to happen to you while you're sitting in traffic, Tony. Oh my God. Let me tell you, this is exactly what you don't want to happen to you. You don't want. I can't tell you yet.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. He's getting on my nerves too. All right, okay. And very sad about finding out the passing of Phil Donahue, one of the greatest talk show hosts that we've had in our lifetime. We're going to get into that story as well. And our bowl-a-thon that's happening soon.
Yes. Can't wait for this 24-hour bowl-a-thon.
Ooh, child.
I get an opportunity to be on the ones and twos during this glow party. So I'm going to bowl some strikes in between mixing and holding it down.
All right, look at you. And I have the WHRP Best Girlfriends Happy Hour Groove on Thursday, August 29th. Bring your friends. We're going to have fun. Can't wait to tell you how you can win a really cool prize, too, on 94.1 WHRP. Goodness. Yeah. Well, you saw it kind of earlier. Yeah.
I caught it at
preview.
At the early hour. I caught it, but once it got dark outside, my eyelids fell.
So I kept walking outside. I was watching the DNC last night, and I kept going. I'm like, "Where's the moon?" I'm literally looking like, "Where did it go?" And finally, I spotted it. I said, "Oh wow!" So I went and got my camera, tried to take some shots. Then I'm like, okay, well, let me try to take some shots with the phone. Not so good. Okay. But this morning, you're still seeing a nice, I did see it this morning. So we're just talking about the super blue moon, which was a nice phenomenon yesterday, and it comes once every 10 years. And they say the next time around will be 2037.
Yes.
So maybe we'll see it again.
And it's still crystal clear this morning.
It is crystal clear this morning, and we have a nice weather day, about a high of 84. That's perfect. I'll take it.
I'll take it, too.
Anytime we got 10 degrees cooler, I'll take it.
It was too cold. I had to put a hoodie on this morning.
Did you?
It was cold. I walked outside, and I was like, what happened to this triple-digit weather?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, went to Louisiana because they were like 115.
Good.
Yeah,
God.
That's where it is.
Oh, man.
It went west. Right. So I'm not going to fret about that. So, folks, getting ready to get in traffic.
And there's two things that you really don't want to happen to you in traffic, right? One thing, you want to clear your bowels before you head out.
Say what?
Clear your bowels before you head out. Good morning.
Oh, my goodness.
No one wants to be stuck in traffic and having to go to the restroom.
I gotta go.
Right. Now, the number one thing you don't want to happen in traffic, which can't happen to me.
But you know what? I'm just to your point. It's your mom probably taught you this, and I still hear my mother, even at this age, in the back of my mind. Just try.
Go
before you go.
Right.
It's a comfortable because you don't know what's going to happen on the road. You don't know if you're going to get stuck in traffic. You're like, oh, I only got 2 minutes to get where I'm going to go. I can wait.
Right.
No.
And then you know how them gas station restrooms are.
Especially when grandmama is out there causing traffic because she's driving slow these days because she has nowhere to go.
Right.
But home, after she went and picked up all her knitting tools and yarn.
With
what are you talking about?
With her hazards on in the fast lane.
Yes.
Now, the number one thing you don't want to happen to you, which can't happen to me, can't happen to the fellas, but ladies, a lady in Massachusetts was stuck in traffic.
Okay.
And she was 9 months pregnant. She was on her way to the hospital.
Okay.
And guess what happened in traffic?
We probably can guess this.
She had the baby.
Wow. Did she have anyone to help her, though?
Of course she had some. She didn't deliver herself.
Okay.
Her husband
but
helped her.
There's been many people who have had to do that.
Deliver the baby themselves in traffic.
Hey, when they ready to come out.
When they ready to come, they ready to come.
They're ready to enter the world. So she had a baby in traffic.
She had a baby in traffic, and she was 26 minutes away from the hospital.
Oh, my.
Right? Sitting there in traffic. Now, what really would have been a dope twist to the story is if a construction worker helped her out.
Well, what really would have been a nice twist if she would name the baby Traffic.
Load the free WHRP app. No charge. Just free. No connection fee. Check out Tony in the Morning and DJ Primetime 256. Weekday mornings from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. It's fun and informative on 94.1 WHRP.
We looking black in the day.
Was that black?
We're looking back in the day.
Back.
Back.
Well, back in the day, Eunice Hunton was one of the New York City's first African-American lawyers, as well as one of the United States' first African-American prosecutors. Miss Carter served on committees for the Pan-African Congress and the United Nations, in which she advocated for the rights of women worldwide. That's back in the day. On this date, back in the day in 1896, the dial phone was patented. It was the first commercial radio station that began broadcasting in the United States in Detroit, WWJ, on this date in 1920 on this National Radio Day. 1972, a celebration of music and culture called Watt Stack actually took place in Los Angeles, featuring Isaac Hayes, the Staple Singers, the Bar-Kays, and more. And guess who was there?
Who?
This chick.
Hey.
Yes. Thank you, Aunt Ruth. Also, the Emotions hit #1 with The Best of My Love on this date in 1977. Prince released Graffiti Bridge, and songs like Thieves in the Temple and Round with Tevin Campbell were big hits on this date in 1990. And it was 2020 that Kamala Harris accepted the Democratic nomination for vice president. And this Thursday, she'll do the same for president. Celebrities celebrating birthdays and famous people, too.
Today's show co-host and weather guy, Al Roker, celebrating his birthday today, as well as one of the most iconic rappers ever. Yes, I'm talking about KRS-1, Mr. Boogie Down Productions himself, and Lil C's rapper, bad boy, and member of Junior Mafia, as well as Demi Lovato celebrating her birthday today. Connie Chung, former nightly news anchor. She was married to Maury Povich. And in memoriam, we have none other than Isaac Hayes, Mr. Stylish and Soulful. He gave us the Oscar award-winning theme from Shaft and was the voice of Chef on South Park. Find more celebrity birthdays on our Facebook page at 94.1 WHRP.
And it is National Radio Day, so thank you all for listening to this radio station. That's Black in the Day, back in the day. Tony in the Morning on 94.1 WHRP.
Tony in the Morning. Coming up, public service announcements. Positive things happening in our community. We're talking about phenomenal people, too, and the good news in the neighborhood on 94.1 WHRP.
James on 94.1 WHRP. Happy Tuesday. Here we are. Tony in the Morning and DJ Primetime 256. We got a bowl-a-thon coming up, a 24-hour bowl-a-thon, helping our Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. We want you to be a part of it. And OMG, I'm doing something for the first time.
What you doing?
I've never, ever done this before. Feeling a little excited. Right. Got a girlfriend's night out. Yeah. And everybody's saying, you've done that before. Yes, I have. But I've never allowed one person to win the girlfriend's night out where they invite 7 of their friends.
Oh, wow.
Usually it's kind of like a best girlfriends, 2 people here, 2 people there. This is going to be an exclusive best girlfriend's night out.
Somebody gets to bring their whole crew.
Their whole crew. Ooh. And it's a mystery girlfriend's night out, but you already know it's going to be on point.
It's going to be one of them nights, knowing Tony.
It's going to be one of those nights. All right, time for the good news in the neighborhood.
Good news in the neighborhood. If you're ready to kick off your career, well, ExxonMobil is looking for interns, co-op, and full-time positions. You can join the ExxonMobil team this summer. They have a virtual expo the 22nd, August 22nd, from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m., and you can learn how to land your dream role. All right? For more information, you can check out our Facebook page at WHRPFM.com.
The Good News in the Neighborhood is sponsored by Alabama A&M. Learn more about Alabama A&M University by visiting aamu.edu today. Alabama A&M. Start here. Go anywhere.
You remember the Phil Donahue show back in the day?
Yes.
A babysitter for many. Sit down and watch the Phil Donahue show. Get you a bowl of grapes. Right, if he was going to grandmama's house after school. Right?
Get the little hard candy in the jar over there.
You're right.
Yep.
But so Phil Donahue, who graced the television screen for so many years, I think nearly close to 30 years, the Phil Donahue show was groundbreaking in television, talk show. And he did something unique. Of course, he would have guests, but he would also include his studio audience.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would have their opinions, and that's where it all started. That's why I got juicy.
What do y'all think about this?
Right. And for those of you who don't know, got to go back a little bit to the late 1960s, early 70s with Marlo Thomas, an actress who starred in a hit TV show called That Girl.
Okay.
And her father, the late Danny Thomas, a comedian who starred in a lot of different movies, TV movies and things like that, but also a stand-up, also started the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Wow.
So there's a lot of intertwining family here that links to Phil Donahue. But he and Marlo Thomas were married for 44 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
And so, he's going to be greatly missed. I guess he had been battling an illness for quite a while.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about the godfather of talk shows, right? Inspiring some of my favorites. Like you probably too young for this, Tony. You don't know nothing about the Ricky Lake Show. Montel Williams, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
A little bit of Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, but before they got on the scene, you had Sally Jesse Raphael. Messy. Jenny Jones. Now, I was in the studio audience of the Jenny Jones show once.
Really?
I was visiting Chicago. And right next door to Jenny Jones show was the Jerry Springer show in that same building. And so I was one of the participants in the audience because I said, if she comes over here, I'm going to start rolling my neck and I'm going to ask her question and everything. I premeditated my actions, right? And she did. Well, what they do is they have you in a little room and they get you all riled up before you go into the studio.
Okay.
And then they have you in groups. And then someone comes in and they say, hey, who in your group is going to be the spokesperson? Who's going to speak up? Well, they give you time to get to know people that you're sitting next to. And so people were pointing to me like, she's going to be the one.
It's going to be her. She
got something to say. And I did. And it was hilarious. But nonetheless, a great experience to be in the audience of a talk show on that magnitude and that platform. Phil Donahue really paved the way for all of those people we just mentioned. But more importantly, Oprah Winfrey.
The latest gossip headlines.
Ooh, no, they didn't.
Tony's Tattletale.
I can't believe they talking about that.
The latest gossip headlines.
They all up in everybody's business.
Tony's Tattletale.
Tattletale. Tony's Tattletale. Tattletale.
Tony's Tattletale.
Well, you chap-wearing, cowboy, boot-sporting, whiskey-drinking fans, looks like Beyonce has a new whiskey on the horizon called Sir Davis. Sip, sip. That's tasty, girlfriend. Mary J. Blige wants everybody to get into this. A brand new album coming, finally. Yes, Mary J. Blige says it's going to be out soon, probably at the end of September and early October. Already, she's dropped a new single, starring and, of course, collabing with Fabulous. It's called Breathing. Can't wait to hear that, Mary. Thank you very much. Also, Tyler James Williams, if you watch the hit TV show Abbott Elementary, then you know who plays his dad, Orlando Jones. But now, he says he would love to have Solange, Beyonce's sister, become his cousin on the show because he feels like, well, we look like family. That would be interesting. Will Solange show up? Will she do it? Well, I'll tell you what, if he was asking Lauryn Hill, she wouldn't show up. Solange probably will come through on the 4th season that's going to kick off on October 9th. It's not the word, it's what I heard. It's just Tattletales.
Tony's Tattletales is sponsored by Hello Huntsville, where your heartbeat of the community comes alive. Check out Hello Huntsville at WHRPFM.com. 94.1 WHRP.
We are happy to have Ocie Maddox Jr. in the building. So, welcome to the studio.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, we're glad to have you. We first want to say thank you very much for the Black History Facts and all the great historic information you're sharing with everyone every day.
Yes.
It takes a lot of research. Yes, and but you're a great storyteller, and you're here in the Tennessee Valley.
Yes, and I just want to say to everybody, I love this place. This is my first time. The first thing I said when I walked in, I said, hey, I love this studio.
Yes. Well, we're glad to have you. And so tell me, why Black history? What is your passion with Black history?
My passion for Black history, it actually dates back to Birmingham, Alabama, when I was a kid. A lot of people, they read stories and they hear stories about A.G. Gaston and all of those great men from back during that time period or time cycle. I happened to see him all the time at my grandfather's house.
Okay.
Because they had an auxiliary, and they would always, Tony, talk about these great Black influencers. And I remember when I had on the Long Ranger hat. Remember the horse and all of that? Well, what happened was that, and I think I was around about 4 or 5 years old, and I can remember this. There was a gentleman that was there along with these men because they were raising money at that time for all of the fatherless families. There were mothers who were raising their children the best they could, and they would raise money and give them vacations. But this man that was there, he told me, hey, let's take that mask off, and you can ride your horsey now. I was being the Lone Ranger.
Right.
And so my grandmother said, hey, why did you do that? And he told her that he's already Bass Reeves. And I was like, whoa. But my mom, she told me, she said, now, when we get to Huntsville and we move to Huntsville, there's certain things that you So I was a kid who fought against education in terms of history. And I didn't want to compete in that arena because there's so much to be said about us as a people.
Right.
And so, Tony, that is one of the things that has driven me. Spent my summers at Alabama A&M University on the Upper Bound program.
Yes.
So I was like exposure.
Yes.
Exposure prime, exposure. So I was exposed to a lot. And then I'm like, why can't we get these stories out? Because, Tony, remember, we didn't have any of this in the encyclopedias, not at the library.
Right.
And so that concerns me even to this day.
And it is a big concern. So there's so many books that they're trying to take out of the school system and information they don't want to expose children to, which is a lot of truth of the history here in the United States of America. So I love the fact that every day we get a different story from you. You have a radio background, television background. This is not your first time doing anything like this.
Let me tell you, this is Tony. This is very strange, but I say this to people all the time. I have a background of probably about 15 different trades.
Okay. That means you always have a job.
Yeah, there you go.
Mrs. Maddox ain't crazy.
She knows. We've been married now, Tony, 31 years.
Fantastic.
And she knows. She has me trained. When I make money, the check automatically goes to her. So it's not
somebody going to work, but it ain't gonna be me.
You better know it. But my radio background actually was with AG.
Okay.
Not with him per se.
Okay.
Of course, he owned the stations that were there in Birmingham. But I used to watch Voyage to the Bottom of the
Oh, my goodness.
Remember that?
Don't date yourself now.
I'm dating myself now, man.
Prime's like, huh?
I love the intercom system.
Right.
And I was attracted to that as well as a lot of things. So when I started school at West Maston Lake Elementary, and I saw a student on the intercom right before the principal would do her thing and give us the Pledge of Allegiance, and I should sit there and watch them. And I said, man, but that was, oh my goodness, I was 6 years old. And that's when it actually began. So I attended Columbia School of Broadcasting, which was the #1 school at that time.
Right.
Had the best Burton Richardson from the Arsenio Hall show.
Okay.
Had a great time with that. I have been in and out of this thing, even in the area of not just broadcast media, but also behind the camera at the old teleprompter TV station here in Huntsville.
Yes.
And so I can't tell you all. My grandfather helped a man, and I did tell Tony, but I can't give you the call now. But we gave to this man who helped us out a great deal in Birmingham. He drove buses, and we gave to him when the window of opportunity opened up for radio in this area, as well as in the United States for blacks. We extended to him $5,000 because he was a part of that auxiliary, and he started Huntsville's radio station.
Nice.
Wow.
So that is something that a lot of my friends, they don't know. They just know me as basketball and going to the lunchroom. There's a lot to Ocie Maddox Jr. in terms of graphics, in terms of color, idea engineering. I also lay out designs for, I went around the roundabout here on Lindsay. But the roundabout that is in Huntsville, that was my idea, which was supposed to be for Council High School. Council High School. And the city saw that as a great idea, and they put it out in the roundabout near the Embassy Suites. Oakwood University, I worked alongside with Mr. Willie McQuarrie, who was a neighborhood father, still my greatest dad, one or two. But I have another one. His name is Jerome Foster. He was the first black anchorman in North Alabama here in Huntsville at WHNT TV. So
this is why we love you.
Yes,
because you're just a walking historian who, off the top of your dome, remembers everything.
I know everything. But I designed the Oakwood University Cemetery, as well as gave them a great image, as well as Alabama A&M. I thought that, hey, you guys need to bring back Bubba the Bulldog. And so I did that with Elizabeth Sloan Ragland, if I didn't do anything else. And now we have the Bulldogs back on everything.
Nice, nice.
So we love that.
We're talking to Ocie Maddox Jr. of OMJ Design. Tell us about that company.
OMJ Media Design is, and then we also have my wife, she keeps me going. We also have Maddox Consulting as well, medical consulting.
Okay.
So OMJ Media Design was just me saying, let's take the hobby, let's incorporate it, bring that idea engineering process in, create these logos, create an atmosphere, do the radio voiceovers and all of that. And so been doing it now for a while. You know, it's been a long while.
Yeah.
But history is my real thing. That's the real thing, man.
Now, speaking of history, we just had the Democratic National Convention yesterday.
Yes.
Tell us the importance of not just everybody voting, but young people getting out there and voting as well.
Oh man, I'm just so happy to see young people. You know, when we look at this thing, Prime, my kids actually grew up knowing that there was a black president. We could not see that, you know. And so being a part of this great political spectrum right now, we're watching a lot of global behaviors. And Tony and I, we talked about this from time to time. It is past time, that women come forward. They bring that nurturing, which is what we talked about prior to this interview. And young people, we had so many problems. You would be shocked at the problems that we had back during our time period. I'm 61. And my mother and them, they really caught it in Birmingham as she marched with Dr. King. So don't think that your voice doesn't mean anything. It does. It's just that it's the way, Prime, how we have been educated. We just think we just throwing our votes into a box. But it's not until we become collaborators, and young people have that.
Yes.
See, women have always had it. But men, we just like, man, throw your vote in there and just be done with it. But there is a symmetry to this. There is a dance to this, and there's a rhythm to this as well as a composition. Our young people can bring along with, and this is what makes Kamala so powerful. She loves young people. I love that about her makeup. And back again, that's nurturing. So what we have to be able to do is tell our young people, listen, bring your agendas now. What are the things that concern you? You want to make a pack out of that? Come on, let's do it. But we need to address, young people and their issues that they face, as well as women, and the mistakes that we have made. I wish that I could go back to the people. Well, I was the one who helped build my neighborhood in terms of carpentry, houses. Tony, I think I talked to you about this. We have built houses in this country that do not address the closet space. Okay. That's women.
You could have talked to a girl.
Talk to your girlfriend over here. But you feel what I'm saying.
Right.
So it's the same parable. It's the same story. We have built a nation without them. We have also built a nation without people hearing our voices as well as young people. We need to bring all of this together. It's Avenger time.
Yes.
It's time for the Avengers to come up, take the time stone from these.
Don't forget Storm.
Come on, Storm. I was a Marvel fan when I was a kid. I'm telling you. And it is time. It is far time, past time, that we involve everybody, including our young.
Well, listen, I appreciate you coming in to chat with us a little bit. We want you to come back and spend some time with us. I keep trying to pull them in, but look, this is the reason why you can't be silent.
No,
you have to share your wealth of information, your encouragement, your foresight. It's so important. And more importantly, to our community, to have our men speak up. And show the love and care that you have. That is a game changer.
It is. It really is.
And so we have two elections, one on the 27th of August for District 1 and 5 and Huntsville and Scottsboro. They're going, the municipal, voting will be taking place. Then we have November 5th, the big grand general election. Of course, this is for the next president of the United States. What are your words of encouragement to get people to the polls who are on the fence, not feeling like their voice matters, and how important is it for them to cast a vote?
It's a new thing for America. It's not necessarily a new thing for America to be this close, because we saw that last night with Hillary Rodham Clinton. She ran for office. I think that her downfall may have been, Tony, that she did not listen to Bill and go out west.
Yes.
And that really cost it.
And Vice President Kamala Harris said that she felt they needed to earn every vote for what they're doing now, and that's why she's on the bus with Tim Walz.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that also, too, as we're looking at the platform of that layout, it's time. It's just time. Listen, women, and I think we just said this, that women use in terms of brainwave activity, and I'm also a myotherapist, so I went to school for that. Women, they carry the accountability role in terms of ingenuity. If you listen to Black history facts, I'm leaving you with clues. Every time when you hear me talk about women and what they have contributed, there's this more mathematical equations that have been solved from NASA. See? And so guess what? They are created, Prime, to help it all make sense. And listen, that's really the gift of Eve. It's a gift from Eve to her daughters. And I think that we as men, we need to kind of look at the national elections and local. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, who not to vote for.
Right.
But I know, and I have a great friend, she's running for a particular district in Huntsville. I know her personally.
Right.
When I tell you I know her personally, I know her personally. And a lot of times people will look at a Hillary or they'll look at other women and say, we can't work with them because they're too bossy and nobody gets along with them.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I'm here to tell y'all that when it comes to Tony, that's not true.
Not true at all.
It's not true, is it? It's not true.
Not true
We
at
already
all.
know this. So what the real deal is that we need to become men of influence, but most of all, we need to become a nation that will allow the nurturing process again to take place. Because, hey, the girls that I know that are, the women that I know that are running for office that I know personally, they will bring you to the porch. And that porch is accountability and what do we need to do to straighten all this out that has been done. Now, I will say this to you. Huntsville had a female mayor.
Yep.
Remember that.
I
you
remember
know why?
that.
Because all of these urban planners and all the planners that we have had, they were building things up, but it didn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden, someone else steps up and says, okay, now that you've done that, we need to do something about the roads. Okay? Now, whether she was, Republican or Democrat, guess what? It makes sense, Tony. It makes sense, Prime. So that's the reason why that I say that don't listen to people when they're telling you this is a person that will not work. And here's the other thing. I'm watching it on social media, and I know that you two have watched it. There are so many negative people who are out there that are saying, she's not going to fit. Kamala's not going to fit. She's not, no.
Well, she already has as vice president. How can people stay in contact with you and follow you?
They can follow me, really, to be honest with you. Now, here's a secret, and a lot of people don't realize this. If you need to follow me on the WHRP app, no.
There you go.
Yeah, you can. You can follow me on that. But also, too, a lot of people, they're like, oh, see, you don't have a website for OMJ Media Design. No, I don't, and there's reasons for it. You got to vet sometimes, but you can find me on Facebook. Yeah. Facebook is there. I'm also on TikTok. OMJ Media Design is also on Facebook as well. So, and it's been that way for 20 years now. I can't tell you all the secret why I don't.
Okay. Well, we're going to find that out off mic, but thank you so much for your time, your wisdom, and more importantly, your encouragement. All right, Ocie Maddox Jr. from Black History Facts here at 94.1 WHRP.
94.1 WHRP.
Tony in the morning and DJ Primetime 256. I bet you never talked to a brother like that, Prime.
Man, hey, you want to hear something crazy?
Huh.
As soon as Ocie Maddox walked in here, do you know we was looking at each other eye to eye?
Oh, really? So you got your platform shoes on today.
I was just standing on top of the desk.
Hey, all right. So glad to have him in studio, and that's our every single day Black History Facts voice that you hear. And of course, we'll check in with him and see if we can get him back in the studio sometime soon. Well, listen, do you eat Taco Bell?
I do.
Okay, I haven't eaten Taco Bell since 19 blah, blah, blah. And so back in the 60s, Taco Bell became a really big hit with a lot of folks because, first of all, they made some nice, good, crunchy tacos. And back in my day, they were only 10 cents.
Oh.
Yeah. So my mom would give us $1 and say, go get 10 tacos. I ain't cooking. And we'd walk down and get some good old tacos.
That's back in 19 what?
So now they're talking about bringing back some of our faves. People are getting ready to perk up. Turn your radio up for this one right here.
Do.
The tostada. Bring it. I just might go back to Taco Bell because that was everything. The green burrito, for those of you who like burritos, that was with the green sauce. Have you had that before? No, because you're not from the 1970s. But in 1980s, they had the Mexi Melt. Some people call it like a Mexican pizza.
Yeah, I know what that is now.
You know, all right.
I remember that.
The beef gordita Supreme. That's that big old.
Yeah. With the thing on the outside.
Yeah, all that. Way too much goop. In the 2K, they came up with the caramel apple empanada.
Yes.
You happy about that?
Yes.
All right, they're bringing that back. And so that could be a nice little sexy dessert for you and your boo.
Let me tell you, them caramel empanadas, Tony, be on point. Now, what I need them to do is bring back these 1960s prices.
Oh, now you're talking, bro. You get the 1960 taco prices. Tacos are on me.
Right down the street in the Tennessee Valley. Tony Terrell, your best girlfriend, and PT. DJ Primetime 256, 94.1 WHRP.
94.1 WHRP. Lucky day. That's you.
Oh, look at you holding a note.
You.
Don't go too far.
I gotta try to do something. After Ocie Maddox Jr. came in here, I gotta change it up. Is that a A or a B flat? That's a you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That doesn't match. But good try. Good try.
Tony, Flavor Flav is I think he's one of the highlights of the Olympics this year.
Next to Snoop Dogg.
Next to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg did his thing too.
Right.
But when you talk about saving the day and putting the light on different things that are happening and aren't taking place.
Did he get paid like Snoop Dogg? Do you know?
Nah, he didn't get paid.
Okay, because Snoop Dogg was hired.
Flavor Flav was. This was a real volunteer effort.
Right, just like the Olympians.
Well, Flavor Flav didn't stop at the Paris Olympics. He took the U.S. water polo team to Vegas because the whole funding issue.
That's right. He did help them financially. Okay, so the games are over.
The games are over, and he said he's not over yet.
Yeah.
He appreciates them accepting him onto the team and his sponsorship. So even though they didn't win a medal, he turned around, took him out to Vegas and let them know, I still got your back. Rolled out the red carpet for him. They went out to eat at a nice restaurant. And
you sure he didn't take him to Red Lobster?
So,
because he saved the day on that one too.
I literally think it's so ironic that he saves Red Lobster, water, and then
everything
he sponsors
is
the water polo team. The only thing he didn't take him was to the beach.
Whoa!
94.1 WHRP. Tony in the morning. About to chop it up and break them down. Those complicated lyrics on old school jams and new ones too. It's the old school, new school lyric breakdown.
Well, there's many different status of what's important in a day. Most important part of the day could be breakfast.
Yeah.
Prayer.
Yes, definitely.
Then there's the most important part of the day, maybe taking your blood pressure.
Oh.
Yeah. But we know for a fact, statistically showing that the best and the most part or important part of the day is the old school, new school lyric breakdown.
Because
you just can't maneuver your day properly without it.
Because you have to figure out, now, what were they really saying in my favorite song?
That is puzzling, and it is distracting from all the duties that you have to partake when it comes to your employment. Right?
Imagine having a top secret security clearance job.
Right.
And you're like, I can't work because I haven't heard the lyric breakdown.
There it is. I can't teach these kids another assignment
It's-
in education without
Yeah.
this breakdown. So that's what we're here for. So today, this song became a #1 hit back in 1977. A group that was known as the Little Sunbeams back in the day when they sang little gospel music. They also sang background for the likes of Earth, Wind, and Fire and also for Stevie Wonder. But they were stars in their own right.
Come on now.
Sisters, in fact. Yes. Wanda, Sheila, and Pamela.
Hey,
Old schoolers have already shouted out the emotions.
they already knew what I was talking about.
They're right.
We're going to break down the best of my love.
Doesn't take much to make me happy and make me smile with glee. Never, never will I feel discouraged because our love, no mystery.
Demonstrating love and affection that you give so openly. Yeah, I like the way you make me feel about you, baby. Want the whole wide world to see.
Oh, you've got the best of my love. Yeah. Oh, you've got the best of my love. You've got the best of my love. If you didn't hear me the first 3 times, you've got the best of my love.
Going in and out of changes, the kind that come around each day. My life has a better meaning. Love has kissed me in a beautiful way.
So is this a testimony or is this one of those, I'm talking to a friend about somebody that makes me feel so great?
It seems like they're
Is it
actually
a confession of emotions?
yeah, of all the emotions.
Got the best of my love. You've got the best of my love. Demonstrating sweet love and affection that you give so openly. Yeah, the way I feel about you, baby. Can't explain it. Want the whole wide world to see. So now we're going to go outside the door and show everybody how much I love you.
You know how important it is in a relationship to let the world know that you're happy together?
Is it for the world or is it for your significant other that the world sees how much?
You know, no matter what, though.
What?
Oh, whoa. You got the best of my love.
Hey! Old school, new school, lyric breakdown.
94.1 WHRP.
Thank God this UPS driver did not forget to stop. Okay, so the UPS driver was driving down the road doing his deliveries, right?
Okay.
A little hot outside. You know, they had the doors open.
Got the little shorts on.
Right. Yeah. So he's paying attention to his surroundings like he's supposed to.
Right.
And he notices an elderly lady that was passed out in a driveway with her groceries everywhere.
Oh, my goodness.
So noticing someone in distress,
Right.
parks his vehicle, hops out, and immediately starts helping the lady out.
Okay.
Contact paramedics. Paramedics came and wound up saving the lady's life.
Fantastic.
They said that she would not be alive today
had it not been for
had
him.
it not be for him.
Okay.
People, it is hot outside. Please hydrate.
That's real
But
talk.
also, if you see somebody in distress, stop. You
Right.
never know. You could be saving that person's life. I can only imagine how many people drove past her while she's
my.
laying on the ground because
we do
folks
that a
are
lot
that
these
busy.
days. People just don't care like that anymore.
Right. So shout out to the this UPS driver
Absolutely.
out in
Shout
Valdosta,
out.
Georgia.
Thank you. Well, Cash App has to settle a lawsuit that could mean money for you. Ching. All right. If your Cash App has any unauthorized transactions that happened between August 23rd of 2018 to August 20th of 2024. So you have to look back. Have you been paying attention to your statements and things like that? The $15 million settlement means that you can file a claim depending on how much money you lost. The Cash App might pay you up to $2,500.
I lost $2,500.
That's how much you lost?
Exactly.
I can tell by the look in your eyes.
That's exactly how much I lost.
So sad in so many ways. Inspiration and motivation on the way on 94.1 WHRP.
I'm DJ Primetime 256. Don't forget the 256. And now it's time for your motivation and inspiration.
Listen to your elders. You might learn something. Listen to your elders. You just might learn something. That is your motivation and inspiration. 94.1 WHRP.
Tony in the morning kicks off at 6 a.m. Tony in the morning. Tony Terrell, your best girlfriend. And PT. DJ Primetime 256. The Tony in the Morning Show on 94.1 WHRP.